back to LRM. We've got another update on the sidecar project. So last time we were doing the frame, got that welded up and that's all ready. Now I sanded down the inside of the sidecar and stained it, so let's have a look, shall we? Here we are at the sidecar, sanded down all the wood on the inside. As you see, it's still wet. I've got all the woodwork on the inside repainted, all stained, and I think it looks a treat. Exactly what I wanted to do. Then we'll get the inside, get the insulation in, get the padding in for the camper setup, because it's going to be a camper for me and our lass. Well, our lass will probably not, probably in tent, you know, whichever goes. And then we can start on the outside. Not too sure what to do on the outside. I want to do obviously the original paint, but I'm going to trace it all out and repaint it all so it's got all the original colours on and everything. So we're up against there, we're good there. That's me, mate, that's the other man, that's Scotty Florida's stuff. He's moving into the unit and starting doing his stuff. He will appear on the channel at some point with his project, because he's got a Harley Davidson that he's going to be chopping. So that'll be quite a good project for the channel. Here we'll be on, once this is a bit further along, there'll be a Suzuki 650 that we're coming in to do bits and pieces on. Needs quite a bit of work, but we'll show you on the channel, and a bit of fault finding and a mechanical mystery, if you will. Here we are, just putting a little bit of paint on the rim, getting it all nice and dolled up. It's going to come out a treat. Joining us again on a different day, and we're going to carry on with the work on the sidecar. So let's go across the sidecar and I'll show you the next stages. So we're at the sidecar and the insulation is starting to go in. I'm not a professor at this, I'm not amazing, but first time doing it, so just getting it all in. So basically it's like it's fan insulation, what you can use it for. It's just got a sticky backside on it, so you cut it to size, make sure you got the right way around when you're marking it out, because I did that and made a mistake. So you peel off the backside, and then just for a bit of peace of mind I get some trim hold adhesive, not sponsored, and spray the backside of the insulation and the surface which I am gluing it to, just to make sure it's not going to be peeling off or coming off in any way. So that's looking good so far. So I'll show you the process of me cutting out and putting this panel in. So let's move to that, shall we? So here are the pieces that I've got that I've roughly cut out to fit into this section, and I'll show you the process of me putting it all in. I'm going to put the biggest bit in first, then these just two little trim bits to go into there. Here we have with the backside, just as yellow film, we peel it off. Oof, that was a lot harder than I remember. Obviously it didn't come off in one piece. I've done it quite a few times and it just quite easily comes off, but that one did not. So let's spray this with some of this adhesive. Make sure you give it a good shake, because all the sediment in the bottom and stuff like that. Let's give it a good spray. Get good coverage. That's that bit done. I'll let it sit for a minute or two, just to let it go to the tacky stage. And then I'm going to spray the inside of here. Oof, that smells a bit funky. Make sure I do this in a well ventilated area and have a mask on, because this is quite potent stuff. So I'll join again, because I've only got one set of hands once it's in place. So there we have the first main bit of the panel installed. Make sure you get all the air out of it. It's nicely pressed up against a little edge up there that I kind of caught, so I'll just trim that off with a Stanley knife, and then there's these little two pieces here just to fill in here. Yes, I could have just done it in one piece, but I was just going to use the scraps. So we'll do those bits and we'll show you the finished article. So there we go, one panel of the sidecar insulated out. So let that set. I mean, obviously I'm not going to be doing much more on it on these bits now. I'm going to be going around the sidecar, but at first, because what I want to do is I want to have like a separate compartment. I'm going to lay down in it. I'm going to measure out where I, because my lass is shorter than I am, so it doesn't really matter for her space. But for my head and my length, I'm going to measure out and then put a partition for having like a boot, because that's the door, that's the boot. I don't know if I've shown you that opening that. Oh god, there's a chair in the way, of course. That was a good one, Tom. Drop the camera. But yes, so this is the boot, so I'm going to put a partition in and down, so there's a shelf on there so we can put our phones and that to charge them when we go away camping. Like a little, like having a colour cigarette USB charger. And yeah, so that'll be perfect for camping. We can put like little camping bits in there, pegs and cooking stuff and all kinds of other treats and delights. I love that key. I haven't figured out how to get it out yet. I don't know if it just come out. I'm pretty sure it will come out. So yeah, so I'm going to carry on. Get this bottom, that panel, and there's two panels in there where the structure of the bodywork is. Just do those two bits, that bit. Obviously it's not going to make a huge amount of difference, but it's going to make a little bit of difference when camping. And obviously, oh yeah, and the door as well. So yeah, once that's done, then I'm going to get some caravan cushions, like the big push cushions you get in there, get them recovered and get some tartan material to go up in the sides as well. Yeah, I think it's going to look absolutely smashing. So that's to do with the interior of the sidecar. And unfortunately I made a little bit of a blunder the last time we were speaking with you about the sidecar frame. It's not quite finished, because talking with a few people, a few bike rallies that I've been to this year that do have sidecars, is that it's best to have more than 2 anchor points for the body onto the frame. I didn't think anything of it when I saw the frame and saw the body. It's like 2 anchor points, yeah, that's fine, you know, that's what they would add. No, most people say you could do with having 4 anchor points. So I'm going to have to grind the paint off again. Not all of it, just a little bit of it, but I made some brackets. That was some 50-50 angle line, build a hole in it. So what I'll do is I'll radius out this area here. So you see here, I'll radius it out across there so it'll fit against the tube. So it'll fit against the tube like that, in line with the other ones obviously. It'll go into there, so it'll give the frame, well, the body, a lot more rigidity to the frame, so it's not putting a lot of stress on the floor, because obviously the floor of that thing is just wood. There's no like structural frame underneath it, no steel frame. It's just bolt straight to that. So what I will do is I'll make some like square washers on the bottom side of this, so it's just got some strength within it. It's not just pulling on the wood; it'll be pulling on the steel. But that'll be better. What else do we have? Oh yes, I'll show you the wheel. It's like last time, we did a little bit of a hyperlast of painting the wheel, and this is the way it came out after it dried, and I think it looks spot on. It looks really good. The spokes came up nice. It's a bit of masking tape when you take off, but the wheel looks good. The hub looks good. I polished up the hubcap. See there. No, you're not going to focus on me, he's going to be an idiot. Right, but yeah, black nail sidecars, so that's nice. So the next bit, other than the sidecar that I'm going to have a touch on, is the mudguard. Let's have a look. Come on. There we go. So you can see here, we've got 1, 2, 3 holes, but that one obviously has pulled through. I think that's why it was taken off, is I think it pulled through, and obviously there's a bit of bubbling on the metal work that's coming out. But you can see on the sidecar, here's the mountings for the sidecar. But it's showing you the history of it, because looking at that, because the holes don't go through from this side means that this was probably replaced, or it was strengthened. I think it must have been strengthened, because there's like certain bits, like this bit up here looks a lot older than like these supports here. So maybe the sheet metal is original, but the woodwork isn't. Like, it was obviously replaced or something in there. But then again, the guy who had it, it was sat, what, 20-30 years, so it was done in the day, so it's not like it's a fresh restaurant. They didn't just go to Juicens and buy this wood, you know. It's in keeping with it, you know, keeping it alive. And they obviously did something interesting, because, you know, you could have just had a straight piece there, but they just like did a bit of ornate thing, which is quite nice. So yeah, we'll strip this back. Take the head. This tail light is amazing. So it's got like a front marker light and a rear brake light. Beautiful thing. I mean, that's just a gorgeous thing. I'll just polish that up and make that look nice, and it'll look an absolute treat sat on top of that wheel. Just look absolutely amazing. And so once all the inside's done, I'll move on to the outside, mask it all up and give it a sand. I do love this door. I haven't quite figured out how to shut it properly, but you can see it like hangs down a little, but you know, I can live with that. I think it was because when the sidecar was sat, it's like the frame's tweaked and it's like kind of settled, or the door's settled, if you see what I mean. So hopefully when we bolt it to the frame, it might pull it back, but either way, we'll just get some rubber seal to put on top of the door, just keep the rain out, because in Britain, of course, it's going to rain. Not recently, because obviously we've had a heat wave recently, and that's why I haven't been down here doing as much work as I'd like to, because in this unit it gets rather warm, and there's no windows apart from that big door, and it doesn't get much of a draft. So hopefully now we can get on and do a bit more work on the sidecar. And I said before that it will be a 650. It won't be. It'll be a 600 Bandit that will be coming in here next. We'll be doing we'll be doing a video on it of doing servicing and freshly buying a motorcycle, what to check, what to do, you know, to make sure it's right for the road. Because one of our lads, Panda, he's going to be using that as his first big, because he's going through his test at the minute. He's on a 125 now, but because all of us have been going on and going through our tests and getting on our big bikes, he feels a little left out, so he wants to grab onto his bike, and it's about time. So this bike will be perfect for him. It's probably one of the best starter bikes you can have for big bikes, is a 600 Bandit. Everybody in the mums has had one. You can find parts cheap enough, and the thing is I mean, they'll do like 140 flat out. You don't really need to do much more than that when you're on your first bike. You know, just keep it under wraps. And I hope he'll enjoy it, and he'll enjoy working on it and getting used to it. And obviously, hopefully by the end of this year, I'll invest in some vlogging gear and some probably like helmet cams and all that, so we can actually film some of the rides that we're going to do. That's what I want to do, part of this channel and that. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, enjoyed the update on the sidecar, and we'll catch you in the next one. See you later.